So based off the personal interpretation of Psalm 139, 23, 24, that is like part of a memory verse for a Change Me study, I decided to do a few more little interpretations, how I interpret translations of the Bible, like as I would tell them to somebody. Because if you quote something like by rote, it starts to just sound the same and it kind of loses its meaning. Not exactly, but it's just like starts to sound repetitious, like the word good morning. Someone tells you good morning, you're like, good morning, you don't even think about it. But if someone said, great, awesome sunrise morning to you or something, it would catch your attention and it would be like, okay, you would hear it more, I guess, so to speak, without taking away the meaning of what you were trying to say. So I was looking at Matthew 14, 22 through 36. It was about after Jesus. My little Smoochie dog's here. Smoochie wants to listen. So after Jesus fed the 5,000 people, he told the disciples to get in their boat and meet him on the other side of the Sea of Galilee, while he, Jesus, was going to send the people, the crowd, on their way. Not sure why exactly he had to do it by himself, but anyhow. So after he did that, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. So by evening, he was up there in the peace and quiet alone, praying, conversing with his Father, our Father, recharging his batteries, so to speak, spiritually and physically. So it just, in my personal opinion, if there's 5,000 people around me and they're focused on me and I'm taking care of them, and to me, being the type of person I am, I mean, I'm not Jesus, but just a type of person I am, a sponge, I would be on sensory overload. So I would need to go on top of a mountain, sit quietly anyway, just to decompress from all the sensory overload. So I imagine Jesus needed some downtime, some recharge time. And the best way to recharge is to be quiet and pray. Listen to the Father. Just listen to the quiet, which is something I'm not very good at. I'm not good at being quiet in myself, as having to turn off whatever's going around in here as I'm taking a walk in the quiet. For me, I can't go in some prayer closet or prayer room everybody always talks about. Like, yeah, right, there's no quiet place at home. So I have to go outside somewhere in a quiet spot and do walk, listen to music, gospel music, worship music, a teaching. But I need to turn that off and just listen from what's coming up here. That's something I'm working on. Anyhow, back on topic. So while he's recharging his batteries on the mountain and praying, the disciples' boat was out in the middle of the big giant lake known as the Sea of Galilee. Being tossed about, there was some sort of windstorm. It got real windy over the water. Something that happens out there based on their weather patterns. So they're out there and it's pretty windy. The seas are extremely choppy. The boat is not that big. It's not like a big old luxury boat or something. It's just big enough for them. So it's getting tossed all over the place. And of course, Jesus knows what's going on. So before dawn, or what they called the fourth watch, which was between 3 and 6 a.m., he walked out on that big lake, the Sea of Galilee, to meet up with the boat. And when those disciples of his noticed him, they started to get a little freaked out. They started hollering, "It's a ghost! Ah!" Freaking out. I'd probably do the same. So Jesus noticed they were kind of freaking out, so he immediately reassured them. He's like, "Hey, it's me. Don't be afraid." So Peter goes. Peter likes to be the first one to open his mouth. He decided to be bold and say, "Lord, if it's really you, command me to come out to you on the water." Now, just hold up a minute. Why would Peter go as far as to say that if he thought it was some sort of ghost or evil spirit or whatever? I mean, couldn't something, if it was a bad, like a ghost spirit, whatever, couldn't it just lie and tell him, yeah, it's me, come on out, and he'd just fall right in? Well, thought about that for a second. My assumption is Peter believed that an evil spirit or slash ghost couldn't impersonate Jesus. So if he commanded him to get out of the boat, get out the boat, then it was for real. So Jesus called out to Peter, come on. Peter goes without a second thought. He steps out that boat, starts walking. Isn't that how faith should be? If Jesus is telling you, get out the boat, just go, just do it. When you're praying for something, for direction on something, and you keep getting validation from, not signs, but just validation, confirmation, be it a conversation, a song, something that just comes right in front of you, or a little incident that makes it completely obvious that you should just do it, just do it. The thing is, after he'd been heading out toward Jesus on this water, walking along like it was dirt, he got kind of distracted by all that wind. Wind's blowing. The wind's been blowing here, for instance, in Louisiana the last couple of days, like 25 mile an hour gust. You could hear it in the background. So, there's waves, choppy waves tossing around him. This wind's going whoosh. So his son got distracted. And he got scared. When he got scared and got distracted at what was going on around him, he started sinking. So the first thing out of his mouth is, Jesus, save me. Lord, save me. So Jesus instantly reached out, grabbed him, and said, oh, you of little faith. Why did you doubt? Now, in the Amplified Bible, they get that word doubt, and they have an explanation of further meaning. Because Greek words that translate into our words, like the word translated into the word doubt, but there's different types of doubt. So in this case, the doubt means allow yourself to be drawn in two directions. Distractions pulling you away from focusing on the Lord in front of you. In other words, don't be distracted by the storm, the world, the problem, the physical realm of the world. Keep the faith, keep focused on Jesus. If you get distracted, if you start to doubt, get pulled, other things, then cry out, Jesus, save me. Lord, help me. Because we can't do it by ourselves. If Jesus wasn't there, you think Peter would have stepped out the boat? So just something to think about. Stay focused. Don't get distracted. It's hard to do. There are a lot of distractions out there, especially in 2022. So all we can do is pray. And when I say that, I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm going to pray for you. You like, Lord, help them and go on. When I comment or tell somebody I'm praying for them, I literally have a prayer for them. So I direct that thought, that focus on that person and lift them up to the Lord. So if you have any prayer requests, leave me a comment. I'll be happy to pray for you.